Welcome back to Dracon's Plays Dark Souls Remastered. Alright, so for the purposes of this episode, I am going to be rocking the same armor and setup. You will see why in just a moment. Hello, Guinevere. Whoops. I suck at throwing these.
Thou that tarnisheth the godmother's image, I am Gwyndolin. And thy transgression shall not go unpunished. Thou shalt perish in the twilight of Anor Londo.
And so the dark falls. So we have broken the illusion that protected Anor Londo. Alright. So I did a little bit of grinding off screen to get the Silver Knights set. Alright, nice. So anyways, with that we got their shield. Shield of the Silver Knights of Anor Londo. A flowing channel is carved deep into its face. The Silver Knights stayed behind in Anor Londo to defend the illusionary goddess, and their shields are blessed with her divine protection. And then I also got their weapons. Alright. Let's see. Nothing really important on that. And nothing there. Alright. So anyways. Things have changed. The Royal Guardians are gone. And the Silver Knight Archer right there is gone. And instead, we have NPCs. Dear God. Wearing instead we have these NPCs wearing Balder and Bernike equipment. Wow! Wow! I got stun locked. Man, the guy with the Bernike stuff hits like a truck. Aw, oh, damn it. Oh no. This could be... No, the lift is up. So, one of the stupid things with Dark Anor Londo is you always spawn back here. Does not matter where you were or what bonfire you used. So all these sentinels are gone. But yeah, no matter what, you spawn back there. It's really, really dumb. That is especially true with the upcoming section. Man, those guys were brutal. Like, the Balder Knight one wasn't bad. It was the damn guy with the Bernike stuff. Like, poof. Man, it's dark. Alright. Yeah, so I don't want to kill her yet. So, as it turns out, a lot of things were illusions. Everything from the, everything from all the Sentinels and Royal Sentinels were illusions. The Batwing Demons were illusions, which explains a little bit of why the illusionary ones were working with the gods, but it's like the ones that carried you up don't make sense. Alright. So that's the... Yeah, and that's that. So they do not respawn. They stay dead, I do believe. I assume that's because they don't want you farming them for souls. Now, I am headed back here just to show off one little thing that a lot of people get confused on. The Silver Knights are still here. Contrary to what people think, these Silver Knights are not an illusion. Most people just never come back here. Well, most people just never come back here after making Anor Londo dark, so they don't know. Man, why that guy punked me so hard? Alright. I hate this lift. Like, this and the ones in ONS's boss room should not be automatic. That's just dumb and annoying. I missed. Alright. Well, let's just go for it then. Alright. So let's take down the Dark Moon Nidus, and then head down below. So it's weird, she didn't have any dialogue.
What you saw under light of the dark moon.
I kicked! I hate how unreliable the kick is. I really wish they had a better, like, setup to guarantee you get the kick. Like, the later games adding, guaranteed jump attack while sprinting, that was a really nice quality of life improvement. Because, like, the kick input, like, that is not reliable. Because it is a weird, like, tap in that direction, and it's super easy to just get it to not come out. Alright, I think that's all she has for dialogue. I'm surprised she doesn't have dialogue for when you get up on top of her. And engage her for the first time. Well, that's fine. Okay. She turned back to look at us.
But how?
Wow! She had a short distance on that. And we get her Firekeeper soul. Wait, what? Oh. Okay, why'd that one end up there? Soul of the Dark Moon Knightis, Firekeeper of Anor Londo. Her brass armor serves to disguise this ghastly form. Alright. Why did they go to separate places? That doesn't make any sense. Why'd that one go up there? I don't know. Very, very odd. Ah, crap. So here comes one of the stupid parts about how this is set up. And it is one of the key problems with this. And as far as I'm aware, there's no good way around this. So we better do this first try. So if you die, at this point you return to the first bonfire. The lift stays down, which means your options are go through the rafters, go back to the closest bonfire, and warp down here. Or you could technically also warp to the chamber of the Sun Princess, run back, reset the lift. But it's just like such a weird oversight. And just to prove the point, if I rest there, if I die, I will get sent back to the first bonfire. Never mind, it is now unlit since the Firekeeper's dead. Alright, here we go.
Heretic. First thou offendest the Godmother, and now thou see fit to trample upon the tomb of the great Lord. I am the dark son of Gwendolyn. Let the atonement for thy felonies commence.
Alright, so infinite corridor. Alright, so Gwendolyn warps out and spews magic nonsense at you. Alright, so you have to sprint up. So this corridor is only seemingly infinite. In actuality, it is not that long.
Oh,
Oh,
swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
Alright. So the corridor is not infinite. It is actually, you can sprint to the end. It just takes like 5 minutes or something. Soul of Gwendolyn. Defeat Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Nice. Soul of Dark Moon Gwendolyn, god of the Dark Sun, and guardian of deserted Anor Londo. So the Dark Sun's the moon, if that's not clear. Use the soul of Gwyn's lastborn to acquire a huge amount of souls, or create a unique weapon. So down here, we find the chair, presumably the one Gwendolyn sat in, while she was sitting next to her, or his father. That entire thing's really weird. But their father's coffin. Miracle, Sunlight Blade. Now, part of the reason I say that entire thing's weird is Gwendolyn is a boy that was raised as a girl, but he's a boy. It's not anything other than that. It's just really weird. Anyways. Sunlight Blade. Miracle wielded by Lord Gwyn's firstborn. Boost right weapon attack with rays of sun. The power of sunlight, manifested as lightning, is very effective against dragons. When the eldest son was stripped of his deific status, he left this on his father's coffin, perhaps as a final farewell. Or as an indication that he went off, and we find an empty chest, which is interesting. I don't know why it's empty, but... And then we find the brass set. But that's an indication that he laid down his dragon slaying, because he's actually with the dragons now. Which is what happened, or one of the things you find out in Dark Souls 3. Dear God, I have so many duplicates of some of these armor sets. Where's the brass set? There it is. Helm of the Dark Moon Knights, Firekeeper of Anor Londo. After becoming undead, she visited the Dark Sun Gwendolyn at the Mausoleum of the Spiral Depths, became a Blade of the Dark Moon, and assumed the flame-keeping duty. She received this helm, which hides her hideous form, and helps her hunt the guilty. And each one is the same thing, just minor differences. So a little bit of background on her, and that does also tell us that you are not born a Firekeeper. You become one. Which adds some context. With the fair lady, Quelaag's sister, we see that she also took it upon herself to become a Firekeeper. It's this really interesting concept where it's like, no, these people sought this out. In Dark Souls 3, you're actually able to help an NPC become a Firekeeper. So that's been an ongoing thing throughout the series. Alright, so I need 23,000. That's not too bad. Oh, if I hadn't lost that 10k, I would have it already. Alright, 22. Oh wow, that was actually more than I was thinking. It is right there. Come on. It's like I only need to kill like one enemy type of... But there's no close ones to where we're... Now I need to kill only one enemy. Well, yeah, I'll be able to do that. Alright, anyways. Now, we have warping. Now, you'll notice we can only warp to select bonfires. Which is one of the interesting design decisions with the warping in Dark Souls 1. Because you can't do it right off the bat. Which means they had to make the world super interconnected, put in a ton of shortcuts. But then, on top of that, they limited warping to only some areas. So you couldn't just warp anywhere you wanted, which also forced them to design the map a certain way. Now, before we talk to our friend here, we have something else we need to take care of. return the Firekeeper's soul to its owner. And that was the bonfire relighting.
Thank you. I'm Anastasia, of Astora. Now I can continue my duty as a keeper. But I only hope that my impure tongue does not offend.
Yeah. So, she had her tongue removed because she was apparently a heretic or something.
Forgive me. I am impure. My tongue never intended for restoration. Please, if you have any heart, leave me be. I wish not to speak. Forgive me. I am impure. Please, leave. I wish.
Alright, then that's all she has to say. But yeah, and if you remember her, let's see, the leg piece actually talks a little bit about bloodstained skirt. It is thought to have once been the white skirt of a maiden, but its true origin is lost in patches of blood. Perhaps its former wearer was maimed to prevent escape. So beyond just not having, like, her tongue, her legs were also damaged. It's like, some really crazy stuff happened with her. And it seems like there's also, like, mental and psychological parts of it, too. She seems to have been either, like, tortured or convinced that they did the right thing to her. So she's in a pretty rough place. Now, we also have Meyer up here.
I am grateful. You know, I was thinking the gate, the old fortress. Was that your doing?
It was.
Yes, I knew it. It seemed like an unlikely coincidence. Well, am I fortunate? This Knight of Katarina thanks you sincerely. Please, take this as a token of my gratitude.
Alright. Oh. Okay. A miracle amid force.
There you are. I'll be heading down below shortly. There's nothing worthwhile up above. No worries. Venturing is my life. I'm prepared for the worst.
Good old happy sig.
There you are. I'll be heading.
Alright, so he's gonna be heading down below. I might have to kill a boss to trigger him to go down. We'll have to see. Ooh, that's right.
Hello there. Glad to see you. Oh. It seems you've come quite a way.
There we go.
Excellent. You're certainly ready. I shall teach you sorceries.
Alright, so now we can get Logan's sorceries. So I'm not going to pick anything up quite yet, because I believe you actually get a discount for getting them later.
Heading out, are you? I too will leave soon. Undead or no, I shan't stay here forever. You have great potential. Don't go and die over nothing.
He's very forceful in that line.
Hello there. You really are very diligent. I quite understand. Study is invigorating. Heading out, are you? You have...
Got anything new, Briggs?
I appreciate the attention, but you read that will... Have you spoken to Master Logan?
It's still just on and on about Logan.
Do stay...
Alright, now Laurentius.
Oh, hello there. I'm pleased to see you safe, as always. If you provide the materials, I can teach you pyromancy.
Alright.
My teacher, whom I imagine still resides in the Great Swamp, had a funny way of putting it. He said that Pyromancy is the ultimate fantasy. We are born in the dark and warmed by fire, but this fire we cannot touch. Those whose fascination with fire persists learn to hold it in their own hands.
Huh.
Rather than a way with words, the old withering frog. In this land, pyromancers the Witch of Izalith, one of the legends.
I think we got in this dialogue before.
Godmother of pyromancy. So the day I became
yeah, I think we've had this before.
I felt as if I'd been chosen to attune myself to the ancient arts. Of course, it wasn't all that romantic in the end. Why?
Ah, here it is.
What's spectacular pyromancy? Tell me about it. I have never seen anything like it.
No.
I see. I suppose I was mistaken. In any case, I definitely trust you. Apologies, my friend. Forget that I said anything.
No items to purchase.
Why? Tell me.
Alright, so he's asking about the chaos pyromancy we have.
Why, yes, of course. Thank you for sharing. I'm still an able pyromancer. I shall locate her myself. I mean, you're dead, once again.
So we just told him about Quaylana.
A pyromancer's flame. The flame develops, right? Please take. Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go alone.
So, Laurentius was actually happy to become undead, as was Logan. It's interesting some of the characters' relationship with undeath. So anyways, Laurentius now knows of Quaylana, so he is going to head down below to try to talk to her. Sigmire is also planning on heading down to Blighttown. Funny that you can walk on some of these walls. Whoop. Okay, that's fine. I was just messing around anyways. Alrighty. So next up, Frampt has some words for us.
Heavens, you have done it. You have retrieved the Lord Vessel after 1,000 years. It is you. It is really you. Forgive me. I really should calm down. Now, let us take that vessel on a journey. I assume that you are ready. Now, be still.
So he never actually asks, he just takes you. Should be noted, this does not block us from Kath. To get Kath only doesn't appear if you place it. So we are just going to get the dialogue here, and then we'll move on.
This is the Firelink Chamber for the successor of Lord Gwyn. Now, place the Lord Vessel on the altar. What is it? Place the Lord Vessel on the altar. No reason for pause at this point.
Alright. So at this point, I am going to Homeward Bone out. We got his dialogue. Not that he has much there. Oh, that's fine. Because I wanted to go to the Sunlight Altar. Always have to be yawning in these, don't I? There goes Hellkite. Alrighty. And there's our 25 faith. Oh, and he is here. Perfect.
Oh, hello there. I'm glad to see you alive. You have done well. Indeed you have. You've a strong arm, strong faith, and most importantly, a strong heart. I am in awe, really. Yes, yes. What do you think? Why not join me as a warrior of the sun, righteous knights, guardians of all that is good, in the name of the Lord of Sunlight? Only if it would please you, of course. Well?
Yes.
Oh, magnificent. I knew you would fancy it.
Here we go.
Then join the covenant. Here, stay still for a moment.
Covenant Warrior of Sunlight. Miracle Lightning Spear.
And there we are. Now, just say a prayer at the altar of sunlight, right there. Then you shall know the brilliance of our sun.
Alrighty, so there.
Oh, hello there. Still here? I could not hope for a braver companion than you. Oh,
Alright. Learn gesture. Praise the sun! Offer sunlight medals. Nice. I currently have 5 of those. Alrighty. So we did get a spell. Miracle passed down to those bound by the Warrior of the Sunlight Covenant. Hurl Lightning Spear. Lightning Spears inflict rare lightning damage and are very effective against magic, fire, and most of all, dragons. So we can now praise that sun. Replace point up. Praise the sun. And there we go. Praise it. Okay. And let's see. Alright. So next up, we have a couple of things to do down in Blight Town. So down to the Daughter of Chaos. Since that's the closest bonfire. To the places we need to go. Now, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I have to kill a boss to get Sigmire to move. I hope not. If I do, that's super annoying. Alrighty. Yeah, so Quaylana won't have... I don't think she'll have new dialogue for us. She might. And she's on the way, so we'll stop in to see her, obviously. But I don't think she'll have anything new for us. Yeah. While I'm down here in between episodes, I might, farm for, large Titanite shards for future use. Because I am going to need a bunch for upgrading since I'm using a weapon, or a different weapon, almost every episode. Huh. Weird. No name drop. Wow, I had to go pretty far and trigger that. Anyway, so we have Sigmire.
has been some time. Truth be told,
Stupid
I
mosquito.
thought you had perished. The Witch of Isolith.
Oh.
Please, do not speak of her.
Huh.
I abandoned my mother and sisters, and fled to this land.
New dialogue.
Now I roam these parts, feigning ablution and pretending to seek answers. Pyromancy is the art, but I would hate. Pyromancy is, but I would.
Alright, so she has not seen anything of Laurentius.
Well, young pupil, you must have patience, but do not.
It really seems like she's the one that lacks patience. Like, honestly. Alright, so she has not seen Laurentius. He did not find her. Now, if you look dead ahead, there's a guy hanging out here. So that is Laurentius. And he does not have any words, because he is hollow. And so ends Laurentius. When you actually complete most NPC quest lines, normally results in their death. Unfortunately. Yeah, while we're here, we might as well kill some slugs and try to get large titanite shards. Alright. Oh. There he is. He is down here. That is good. Alright. Now, beyond just talking to Sigmire, large titanite. Nice. Got 2. But yeah, beyond just talking to Sigmire, I also plan on doing another map viewer segment, which should be the last one of those. Sleeping on his feet.
Oh ho! Excuse me, I was so absorbed in thought I just drifted away.
It's okay, Sigmire.
I'm actually in a bit of a fix.
Oh?
I've made it this far, but I'm short on antidote moss for the trip back. By my knighthood, I'm ashamed to ask, but can you spare a few scraps of moss?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. A saint you are. This Knight of Katarina expresses his deepest gratitude. I shall not forget this.
Mm-hmm.
Take this, a symbol of my appreciation.
Oh, that reminds... I didn't actually read Mid-Force.
Our fates do seem entwined, don't they? Perhaps this, too, is the will of Lord Gwyn.
Got anything else to say?
The poison swamp. I'd quicksand in there.
Alright, so that's all he has. Now, let's see. We have a Mid-Force. Alright, nothing really there. Outlay Miracle, 4 into the Way of White. Interesting little note there. And then... we have the Pierce Shield. Shield of certain Knights of Katarina, used in attacks with a huge protrusion in its center. Can be used as a thrust weapon. Alright, so anyways. now I'm gonna have another little segment where I'll cut to footage of the map viewer, and I'll talk about some more area connection stuff and how the world's all laid out to cover the second half of the game that we're now moving into. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy that segment.
Alright, so welcome back to Map Viewer. Alright, so this one is actually a different map viewer than before. I realized that one was like super outdated. I did like that the areas were color-coded in that one. This one, I think, is actually technically made by someone else, but it's much more detailed and it controls a lot better. So that's going to make this experience better. Now, last time we focused on the early game areas. This time we're going to focus on some of the end game areas. Anyways, so if you look, I'm not used to the controls, so don't mind me. So this up here is Firelink Shrine. Down below is Blighttown. This is all stuff we've looked at before. So this is like the cemetery. You can see some of the headstones. Okay. That was a little much. That looks good. Alright. Am I not rocket powered anymore? Alright, so anyways. This is Firelink Shrine. If you look down below, that's Blighttown. And then, way over here you have the Great Hollow, which we visited recently. And you see Ash Lake spreading out in this direction. So that's kind of pointed away from Firelink Shrine. Kind of like off to the left a bit. Anyways, if you continue from Blighttown, you got Quelaag's Domain. So that would be the boss arena, where you fight her. Then over here, you have like the bell, and you start getting into like demon ruins in Izalith down here. And if you look, it's actually situated below where the Kiln of the First Flame is, directly above it. Anor Londo is also sitting straight up overhead. Really interesting. Now, let's see. Man, I wish it was color-coded. Like I said, that's one of the things the other one did better. What was that pop? I don't know if that came up on your guys. Now, let's see. So over here we have the catacombs. And if you look, catacombs leads down. Alright. Oh, that's... So over here, you have the Tomb of Giants area. You can see all the giant coffins. Someplace we haven't actually gone yet. Now, if you look, interestingly enough, the Tomb of Giants in like Quelaag's Domain are like right on top of each other. And then where is it? Alright, so that's the Valley of Drake's Bridge. Man, this is confusing. Alright, so that would be the Tomb of Giants and its descent. Here it is. What the... Okay, map viewer. Okay, what are you doing to me? Anyways, so this over here is the path where you fight like Paladin Leroy. Right over here you can see like the cave straight ahead. He spawns down there. So, off in this direction should be like Ash Lake. Except pointed towards like Izalith. And then just a little bit above that, like, up in here, you're able to see out into, Demon Ruins. Which, that one actually makes sense, because you can see their position correctly. Which is part of the reason that the Ash Lake expanse does not make sense. But one of the weird things is you cannot actually look from, like, Izalith in the Demon Ruins and see a hole in the cavern wall where the Tomb of the Giants would be. You can tell where it would be because if you do things with, like, bloodstains, you can actually see the location, I do believe. But, yeah. Overall, though, the geography actually makes sense, which is super cool. And it's places like the Kiln of the First Flame actually have a logical position in the world. It's located, like, under Anor Londo in that giant mountain, which makes sense. Way up here you have the Duke's Archives and the Crystal Cave. Alright, let's see. Alright, is that where the... Alright, no, that's where that is. Yeah, so it will be up here somewhere is the door. I'll point it out when we actually play through. I don't think it's actually in the, like, map viewer, but that's where that is. But no, it's super interesting to see how this all actually lines up. Now, in the map viewer, you can actually see the invisible paths. So that's where those guys were. Dear God, this place is a mess. Oh man, I don't actually even know what I'm looking at. Whoop. Too fast, too furious. Alright, so I'm gonna crank the speed way down. Alright. Alright, so we're descending into the Crystal Caves. Ah, here we go. So here's one of the invisible paths. You can see it's a nice straight road. And then if you go down, it's actually a 100% flat plane, which is interesting to see. You can see that actually extends past the end of that. That's weird. I didn't realize there was a little bit sticking over the edge there. Alright, now. Alright, so that's that. That leads towards Seath. Alright, so here is the hidden path, the one that always trips people up. So you come out of the crystal cave, or you come out of the cave with the crystal lizards, you go, and then it's straight, but then you have this weird intersection point, and then it comes forward and then turns slightly to the left. It's like, that is really insane, just how that actually lines up. This is very much like a good luck type area. Using something like a bow, you're able to mark out a path ahead of you, but it's still not easy at all. And I have not heard of a mod or anything really. What? To, improve that. Alright, now let's see, was there anything else? So, over here we have Anor Londo. What the actual heck? That lift does not look correct. Weird. Why does it look so weird? Huh. I don't know. Aw, it looks like it's not in this one. That's too bad. So located under Anor Londo, apparently, but it's not included in this map viewer, at least. You have an extended version of the hallway to the Dark Moon Tomb. That's the actual spot that Gwendolyn's boss fight takes place in. So anyways, let's see. Points of interest. So over here is where you have, like, the archers. And over here. So this is that door that doesn't open. And yeah, there's nothing on the other side. You're far away from, like, where that building is. And it's just kind of like, yeah, there's just straight up nothing. It's even... It is technically connected. But it's just like, yeah, there's very, very clearly nothing there. Alright. Now then. Yeah, and you can see, like, even Sen's Fortress here logically links up with, like, where Anor Londo is. Although I think that's actually... might be a little bit higher in, like, the skybox, but not by much. It's pretty accurate, which is generally the case in Dark Souls 1. They didn't really fudge any of the positions too much. Just a little bit for that little extra effect, but not enough that it doesn't make sense. Which is really cool. It adds a lot of consistency, and it really feels like you're exploring a real world when they do that type of thing. Now, let's see. Alright. So over here you have, like, the forest. And it's like, yeah, you have some interesting stuff at this point in the game, but it's like a lot of the interconnections and, like, really, really good, like, connectiveness is in the front half of the game, where it's like, wow, these areas are just so vertically, like, stacked, and everything is, like, so insanely interconnected. The second half of the game, when they introduced warping, kinda went away from that. Anyways, I think that about does it for this one. We will have a third, much shorter one, showing off, like, Darkroot Garden versus, like, the Royal Woods and Ulasil, all of that type of stuff. But that won't take nearly as long as, like, this map viewer session or the last one. Anyways, so back to the regular episode then.
Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed the map viewer segment. And that actually does it for this episode too. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Next time, we're gonna be headed down into the New Londo ruins. So anyways, I'm gonna see all of you guys later. Bye!